Windsor Arts Center is a hustling, bustling mini-community made up of volunteers, spectators, and those who appreciate the fine arts. This unique and quirky place nestled in the heart of Windsor provides warmth and welcome to people of all ages, genders, and ethnicities. Here you will learn about the visual, auditory, and literal arts, all while discovering an appreciation for the finer aspects of life. Here we introduce some of the individuals who have molded the Windsor Arts Center into the influential place it is today.
I am the president of the Windsor Arts Center. I have many, many different jobs. I do everything from cutting the bushes to putting the chairs up for the concerts. I was working at the train station before, putting up shelving. I also run the meetings for the Arts Center. We have many, many decisions that go on constantly, and most of those questions are brought in front of me, and then I put it out to the board for votes. So there's quite a few different things to do.
I am the manager of the Arts Center, and part of my job is, actually a big part of my job is coordinating between all the board, all of our volunteers, and all the artists that come in. And then I guess a big part of what I need to do my job is just being able to communicate both in writing and in person, because we have a lot of different people who will come in, so being able to adapt to them. As far as writing goes, I do a lot with social media, so our website, our Facebook page, and just answering any email inquiries, so being able to write and just kind of explain what we are, who we are, and all that. And then another big part is just kind of meeting all the new people that come in and making them feel welcome. And again, like the Art Center is their community space where they can kind of come and see art and have their opinion and really feel welcome.
My role as an Art Center, I'm on the board of directors, and I'm the chairperson for the volunteers. And as I just mentioned, the volunteers, we have to have volunteers for all the shows, Thursday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have 2 people for each show. So that way, it's very safe for people to, when we have 2 people.
The Art Center was doing a puppet exhibit, I think it was back in March, and I just happened to stumble into the Art Center. I was down in Windsor, just kind of exploring the town, and I had never really been to the Art Center before, but I came and I'd heard about the puppet show, so I definitely wanted to come and see that. And my first impression of the Art Center was that it was such a welcoming space. It's a lot of volunteers that work, and I know the volunteers that were working that day were so welcoming, and I just felt right at home the moment I walked in, and I thought, this is such a cool, kind of quirky, unique space. And so that was my first experience. And then also just the whole town of Windsor, this whole downtown area was just so neat. I just remember leaving from that day and thinking, wow, that was a really cool place. Like, I'd love to be able to go back. And a few months later, there was a posting that they were looking for a manager and someone to kind of be a spokesperson for the Art Center and to take part in bringing more people in. And I thought, well, that's such a cool place. Like, I remember instantly feeling like this is such an awesome spot and feeling really passionate about the work they were doing. And so I applied for the job, and yeah, the rest is history.
I got involved with the Windsor Arts Center, I think it was roughly around 4.5 years ago. I was asked to curate a show on photography. I've been a photographer for 35 years, and I was asked to curate a show, which, as it turned out, one of the photographers dropped out, and I ended up being in that show as well. I had a show previous to that at the Huntington Museum, and the Huntington Museum was actually the Art Center in Windsor before the Windsor Arts Center. So shortly after the show, it went over very well, and I was asked to join the board by Holly Pelton at that time, and I accepted, and I've had a blast. It's been the best 4.5 years I've had. It's wonderful.
We're inspired by the Huntington House, but we started this, and our first show was in the fall of 2007 with a show we called Local Color. There are a lot of artists in the town of Windsor, a lot of really fine artists. And so we started with, I think there were 8 of us that were on the board, and we've again, as we've brought in new board members and new artists, we learn and start to connect with other people. And
The Windsor Arts Center came about 2007, and it was after the Huntington Museum closed down. The Huntington Museum was on Windsor Green, and there were many exhibitions for a couple of years there, and then it was going to be used for a different source, a different business. So then the founders, who was Lon and Jane Pelton, Marcia and Sam Hinckley, Pat Fahey, Holly Pelton as well, and I'm trying to think of the other founders. I hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody, I'm sure I am, but they worked painstakingly for about 3 years to try to find a space to put the Windsor Art Museum and or art space, and this building became available, and the town worked really well with everybody, and they were able to get this building, and the rest is history. I mean, they did an incredible job, and it's an awesome space.
from the beginning, we did not want something that was just an art gallery. We were really interested in trying to incorporate more of the arts, because art is not just visual. So when we create our mission statement, I'm going to read it to make sure I get all the words just right, because we worked really hard on this. But the Windsor Arts Center celebrates creativity and inspires an appreciation for diverse artistic cultures by showcasing the visual and performing arts.
Recent activities that have been happening at the Windsor Arts Center, we've definitely been busy. We just opened The Streets is Talkin', which is our current exhibition, and that focuses on graffiti art, and that is really great perspective on all sorts of artists. So we have very young artists kind of starting out who are just in high school even, and then the more experienced artists who have been doing graffiti for a while and have kind of taken it and evolved it and made it their own. And then we also have kind of a more interesting take on it. We have Barbara Steele, who is a yarn activist, and she does a type of graffiti art called yarn bombing. And she was actually just at the Art Center last week. She did a workshop all about yarn bombing. And basically what it is taking these yarn tags and putting them all over public spaces. And you think about yarn, it's colorful, it's bright, it's really soft. And so it's about kind of bringing some soft and some warmth and some just kind of art to what might be a really harsh public space and making it more welcoming.
Barbara Steele has unveiled to us some ambitious yarn bombers and their evocative works of art from around the world.
We had a concert by the Balkan Brothers, and they have this kind of funky, kind of really upbeat feel to them. We're hosting a foam party, which will be really, really fun. We have a foam machine that generates all this, exactly what it sounds, foam, and there'll be dancing and music. We have a hip hop group from Hartford called Funky Rebellion, and they will be performing some original choreography. And these guys are great. They're actually all students at the Greater Hartford Arts Academy, so they're wonderful, and we're very excited to have them performing. Looking ahead, we'll also be offering several more concerts Thursdays coming up in both July and August.
But it was, I was working in a department store in Williamsburg, Virginia at the time, and I came in one day and this was being used as part of a display. The manager had found it in an apartment he moved into in Atlanta in 1968, just sitting there. And he didn't play guitar or anything, he just carried it around with him and thought it was like selling blue jeans. So there was a hitching post, a bale of hay, a whiskey jug, and an old guitar leading up. And I didn't know exactly what this thing was at the time, but I knew I liked it. So I talked about it.
future goal is to really to keep it going and just keep bringing in more and more artwork, more music. We recently acquired the train station, and a train station is being used for artist studios. We have 2 artists in there now. We hope to have 6 to 7. We have a teaching area in the train station as well, so we are expanding as we speak. But as far as this particular space, just to bring in all kinds of art, to spread our wings and to bring people in. We have been bringing people in from New York and Boston, but to bring people in from all over different areas, different parts of the country, and just to really get on the map and make it a place to come to and to see.
I really feel one of the future goals of the Art Center is to bring people together. Bring more people in Windsor into the Art Center. Not just people in Windsor, just bring all people together, and and all nationalities. I think that is so, so important that we have diversity communication in the Art Center, which we do have, and I just feel as though it's very, very important.
If you haven't stopped by to visit us, definitely our website's a great resource. We are offering constantly different concerts, different exhibitions, workshops. Definitely visit us at www.windsorartcenter.org, as well as if you like us on Facebook, we have constant updates about what we're offering, but there really is something for everybody, and so I would encourage you, if you haven't had the chance to come visit, please do. Everyone is super welcoming, and there's something, I guarantee you'll find something that you can connect to and that you'll enjoy.